The Cyclones a hot team, but Kenny Gregory and Kansas have a home win streak of their own. Iowa State, Kansas, along with 16,000 at Fog Allen Fieldhouse when you come back.
Tonight from Allen Fieldhouse on the campus of University of Kansas, it is the Cyclones come calling against the Jayhawks. And why is this one so big? Doesn't take very long to look at this one. 7-1 and 7-2. Should Iowa State win, they would take over first place in the Big 12. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with John Sunbull. John, for people who have not seen Jamal Tinsley, probably one of the best point guards in America. 66 wins in junior college, 51 since he's come to Iowa State. That speaks for itself.
A true leader on the floor, and what's different this year is that he's extended his range and can shoot it from deep. This shot right here sent the game at Oklahoma State into overtime. He's expanded his range, and then everything they need him to do. This play, less than a second left at Nebraska, wins it for Iowa State. He does everything. He's a tough matchup for this Kansas team.
Not to oversimplify, but the two losses by KU this year, both times they got out-rebounded. Well,
the key about rebounding is the fact that Iowa State is outstanding in themselves, so they've got to get with it. Kansas has to block off the boards.
So the starting lineups: Tinsley, Sullivan, and Horton, the three-guard set, along with Rancic and Shirley. And for Kansas, Heinrich and Boshi, Drew Gooden, Nick Collison, and Kenny Gregory. Ball is tipped up. They battle for it, and here's Gregory, and he'll score.
Good start by the senior. Gregory has had a terrific season. He out-hustled Tinsley to that ball.
Whoever sends a statement early in this ball game could be very large.
I think Martin Rancic, the big X factor for Iowa State, has to play well, establish himself on the inside.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. Crossover dribble by Horton all the way to the baseline, and he'll score it.
Well, Cantrell Horton may not be the tallest of players at 6'1", but goes at 225. Solid body.
And for those of you who are not regular followers of the Big 12, one of the reasons for the fervor, so to speak, here tonight with the crowd, as Boshi puts up a three and nails it. 3 straight wins by Iowa State over Roy Williams' team. Nobody else has done that in the 13 years he's been here.
Yeah, highly unusual. Obviously, not very typical to do.
That's going to be goaltending against Gooden.
You know, a good start for both teams. Jeff Boshi's been shooting the ball well in Big 12. He hits his first 3, and then Jamal Tinsley doing what he does best, the spin inside the lane. He is too hard to guard one-on-one.
Larry Eustace, you see his numbers against KU. Heinrich behind the back. Gregory. Way too hard. They battle for the boards, and Rancic lost the ball, and it comes right back to Shirley.
Iowa State can live with Kenny Gregory shooting jump shots.
And here's the tough assignment. Heinrich trying to work against Tinsley. Martin Rancic short on the shot, rebounded by Gregory. In last year's game here in Lawrence, Heinrich fouled out of the ball game, and that was key. And a jump ball has been called.
And here's why a year ago Jamal Tinsley was on the all-defensive team in the Big 12. He's got terrific hands, and then down the stretch of the ball game a year ago, he had 2 steals, which sealed the win. Look at that. Active hands kept it away from Heinrich going to the hole.
Veteran crew tonight. Ed Hightower's the referee. John Clockerty and Ted Hillary are the umpires.
Iowa State was going to spread the floor. Kansas goes to a zone.
Bullet pass inside, and Rancic scores it.
Tinsley, outstanding.
Iowa State up by 1 as we have played the first 2 minutes of this one, and the pace just what we anticipated.
And Cantrell Horton defensively matching up against Gregory is going to have to block him out.
Paul Shirley went to sleep, and the bounce pass right in front of him. Gooden all alone. I can tell you now, Gooden injured a wrist. It's his right wrist in the game against Texas on Saturday. He came and shot today as Horton knocks down a monster 3.
Now Kansas has gone to a zone defense. Let's tell you a little bit about Iowa State. They shoot 49% from the field, 43% from three-point land, so they can flat out shoot.
Ball tip. That's Tinsley who gets the steal. behind the back and then a crossover, and that's going to be Heinrich with his first foul. Second team foul.
And Ron Tinsley can just simply eat you alive with the basketball. Take a look again. The active hands by Tinsley. Goes the other end, and the foul then on Heinrich by the reach-in. Jamal Tinsley shot 14 free throws and made 11 of them with 26 points in their win Saturday against Kansas State. Hard to keep him out of the paint. Good number.
Put back by Shirley. Paul Shirley is from Meriden, Kansas, which is only about 30-35 miles to the west of here, just above Topeka. He's got a lot of family here tonight. As Iowa State 5 of 6 from the field to start this game.
Iowa straight man-to-man defense. Good hands again by Tinsley. He knocked it away from behind.
Ted Hillary says walk. And KU is extremely lucky. That could have been the second foul on Heinrich right there.
Well, Kirk Heinrich has been able to beat Tinsley off the dribble twice. Trying to call timeout, didn't get away with it. Again, Heinrich has beaten Tinsley twice off the dribble, but Tinsley comes back with the active hands and has made a play.
Luke Axtell checks into the lineup. This is Collison inside, too hard, and that's going to be over the back, and the foul on Gooden. I'll complete the story on Gooden. He fell. He got somewhat undercut as Chris Owens was taking a charge on Saturday, tried to keep himself from hitting hard on his backside, and he sprained the right wrist. Came out this morning, shot, range of motion. Well, Mark Cairns, the trainer, said more than he expected, so they gave him the green light to go tonight. We'll see if he's able to go as long as he normally does.
And good job by Heinrich. You have to give cushion, but don't attack Tinsley because he'll go right by you.
He's going to take a long three and nails it. Boy, they are red hot.
Well, think of this, Ron. Jamal Tinsley shoots 45% from beyond the three-point line in conference play.
Axtell for three. Not there. It's an air ball. Tried to save it, was Gooden, and he threw it off the bottom of the glass. That should not have been Kansas basketball. That should have been a turnover.
I think it hit the backside of the glass.
It did.
That's unbelievable. They didn't call that. See Larry Eustace? Doesn't agree.
Horton with the bounce pass. Martin Rancic, and they finally miss one. The lob to Gooden. There comes the quick help from the weak side. Couldn't get it to go. Collison battling on the board, and a foul inside, and I think it is going to be Shirley.
Well, good entry pass.
So we'll take a break. 15-15 left until halftime. Iowa State.
Larry Eustace happy with the score, but not happy with the last non-call. Take a look at Drew Gooden as he jumps to save it. Look where this ball hits. The backside of the hoop. Knocks it down. Drew Gooden, though. Well, you know what he did? It wasn't even in bounds when he came back in. He had not landed, so.
15-15 left to play until halftime. 5-point Iowa State lead.
Iowa State 6 of 8 from the field.
Well, listen to the numbers on Tinsley. 5 points, 2 assists already. Heinrich off the mark, and that's Rancic who clears with the rebound. You know, John, another thing that I think is extremely important in this ball game for Iowa State, they want their tempo, not KU's tempo.
Well, Iowa State wants this game in the mid-60s. A little shuffle of the feet by Heinrich. And one of the keys, again, Shirley and Rancic cannot get in foul trouble.
5 KU turnovers. One of the things that Larry Eustace said today at the shoot-around is if this thing gets into the 80s or the 90s, that is a big plus for the Jayhawks.
Well, Larry Eustace understands his team can do that at home, but when you play Kansas in this building, the Jayhawks love to run, get some easy baskets. They try to create a lot of things from the defensive end.
Sullivan, the freshman,
outstanding shooter, one of the best strokes in all of college basketball. You can't allow him to get his feet.
You let him get squared away, and Chenoweth fouled. It's going to be Martin Rancic. And you see Rancic is hollering at Shirley. He was looking for some help.
Now take a look at Jake Sullivan coming off the pick. When he gets set, again, the release is perfect. Freshman averaging over 11 a game, and now here's a foul. If you allow Chenoweth to catch the ball, get on the backside, make him make a shot over the top.
2 fouls on Rancic, so he has to sit down, and that's the reason he was upset. You could see him turn around, and he hollered, Paul. Wanting to talk to Paul Shirley. 23, Tyree Pearson, the junior from Hammond, Indiana, comes in. As Axtell's going to drive the lane, and no basket. He was fouled before he got there.
Well, Horton picking up Axtell, understands that Luke's looking for the outside shot, make him put it on the floor. Good foul before Axtell got to the hoop, underneath out of bounds.
3 team fouls, Iowa State, only 2 against KU. But Iowa State with an 8-point lead. Axtell for 3.
Well, Kansas fans want to see that. Before that, Luke in conference play only 3 of 17 from three-point lane. But one shot can get him going.
Well, the first one was an air ball, but that one was nothing but the cord and the floor.
Tough matchup for Axel. Horton extremely good with the ball.
He should have tried to take advantage of Luke. Shirley. Hit by Chenoweth. Had the ball partially blocked, and Pearson muscles it up, and he'll score. Tyree Pearson.
Well, you like the active play by Pearson.
Moshi with the lob to Chenoweth. Not there. Paul Shirley with the rebound. And Tinsley comes out with it quickly. But KU back on defense. Well, almost too much gingerbread, but he saved it.
Hey, Ron, I haven't seen a ball handler like Jamal Tinsley since Isaiah Thomas. That's how good he is. And when you watch him in practice, he does some amazing things.
Pearson, nice look in by Horton. He had the shot, but he saw his teammates open closer to the hoop.
Kentrell Horton plays the 2-guard position, but he is a natural point. So he is terrific at distributing the basketball when he has it.
John, Iowa State is 9 of 13 from the field. 69%. They are just burning it up. As Kenny Gregory comes back in after a long stay on the bench, and Moshi will go to the sideline.
Well, Larry Eustace knew when they came in they could probably spread this Kansas team out. If they could make open shots, they've got a terrific chance to win. Off to a good start.
Consider one thing about Iowa State. The ball almost stolen by Tinsley. In the last season and a half, as Axtell, Chenoweth, I beg your pardon, posted up and scores easily. In the last season and a half, Iowa State's lost 4 ball games, all in overtime.
Well, they are a terrific team, Ron. Larry Eustace and his staff have done an outstanding job. Last year, an Elite 8 team defeated by Michigan State in an outstanding ball game. Maybe the 2 best teams in college basketball a year ago.
Axtell tries to put a move on Horton. Got him moving away, but that's going to be a foul on Chenoweth as he banged into Sullivan. The first one on Chenoweth. So we will go to break. And KU needs a little more of this. Luke knocking down the tray.
In Stillwater, an emotional crowd trying to lift the Cowboys. Their first game in 9 days. They trailed Missouri by 5, but they go on a run here. It's Victor Williams feeding Maurice Baker, and Sutton's team now has a 1-point lead. We'll keep you posted, Ron.
All righty. I can imagine just how emotional that crowd is in Stillwater tonight. And certainly the best thing that could happen to those kids and to the program, and that is to get back on the court and start playing and heal some wounds. Our situation, 21-14, Iowa State on top right now. We have just under 12 minutes to play. Last year, you remember I mentioned that Well, 7 turnovers last year. Look at this. Tonight, only 1 in the first almost 8.5 minutes.
And not many teams in the country can come into this building and get that accomplished. But this year, Tinsley, senior guard, along with Horton, makes it a lot easier.
Well, we just talked about it. They just turned it over. Shane Power, the freshman, came in, made an unwise pass in traffic, and Heinrich takes it to the other end, and he converts.
Heinrich this season been able to make great decisions coming down the floor. If he has it, he attacks. If he doesn't, he'll pull it back out. They'll set something up. Well, two in a row, huh?
Never should have mentioned it.
Tinsley thought Horton was going to backdoor cut, which you can a lot on this Kansas team. They will overplay lanes.
So Iowa State calls a timeout. 21-16. See if KU could score again. 21-16 our score. NCAA basketball tomorrow on ESPN. This is a huge one. 7 o'clock Eastern. Up in the Big Ten. Number 4 Michigan State at Champaign-Urbana against number 6 Illinois. Charlie Bell, the Big Ten's assist leader, with almost 6 a game. Keep one thing in mind. The reason this is so big, these teams only meet once in regular season. That's it.
Well, two heavyweights that many people think both teams have a great shot at being in the Final Four.
Roy Williams. 2 turnovers in 19 seconds against Iowa State. Let's see if the Hawkeyes can score again. For the Jayhawks. Sorry. Inside the Nate. Wow. Kenny Gregory lights him up.
Well, Shane Power, the freshman, overplayed. You want Gregory to catch it going out, not catch it going through the hoop. Holy smoke.
With the bounce pass, Pearson puts up a tough shot. Shirley with the rebound, couldn't get it to go, but he'll go to the line. This will be the first free throws shot in the first half of this game.
Now take a look at the back door and look at the spectacular dunk. The back door cut. Man. Flying. But again, if you're guarding Kenny Gregory, Shane Power's got to realize you want to be aggressive, but make him catch it going away from the basket.
Shirley, unlucky on that one. It did everything but go down. He's a 69% free throw shooter.
He's been solid in Big 12 play. In graduate school, already a graduate of Iowa State University.
Missed them both. Graduated in engineering, was an academic All-American last year, an academic All-Conference.
Nice pass.
Shirley going to be called for travel on that one. There's his mom. As we said, Meriden, Kansas, which is just above Topeka. That's not very far from here.
Well, Iowa State on the offensive end, Ron, they have to settle down and get better looks. Tinsley's got to take control of his offensive team. Good pass.
Gooden trying to move before he had possession of the ball. Pearson picked it off. Ten minutes played in his first half. Horton all the way to the hoop. He will not get it to go, but he'll go to the line for a couple.
Now there's the strength of Kentrell Horton. Again, we talked about the size of his body, 6'1", 225. Heinrich now picks up his second personal. Heinrich came all the way from the weak side corner to help out defensively, but didn't need to pick up his second. And you can see Kentrell streak. 6 behind the mayor, Fred Hoiberg.
Now that score right there stops a 6-0 run by Kansas. Mario Kinsey, freshman out of Waco, comes into the lineup, 6'2", 175.
Not the offensive threat that Kirk Heinrich is at shooting the ball. Got to run the show. I think a tough matchup on defense for Iowa State. Jake Sullivan's got to stay with Boshi. Boshi quick, coming off picks.
28 straight free throws for Horton. Does just a little bit of everything. Whatever they need, he's there. Gooden. Shirley comes over to help. Gregory.
Just what we talked about at the start. Kenny Gregory is a tough matchup for any of the Iowa State players. Must keep him away from the glass.
Gregory now with 6.
Oh, great save.
Horton. Power in the corner. He'll go back to Horton. Shirley inside.
Well, Cantrell Horton with another terrific assist. He had Sullivan on the wing calling for the ball. But Horton right on the money again.
Ron Franklin, John Sunbull coming to you from a jam-packed Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence. 16,300. That's capacity. Chenoweth turnaround won't go. And here comes Horton.
How about Horton? 7 points, 2 assists. Rebound.
Nothing there in the trees, so he's going to come back out, but he passes it back to Pearson, and he can't get it to go.
You know, Horton does a nice job of looking the defenders one way, making a pass another.
Since that early hoop, Boshi has really had a problem with Horton, and that's going to be Pearson locking on with the foul.
Now Cantrell Horton. Look at this pass. Looking on the right side because he had Sullivan standing wide open, and then threads the needle.
Chenoweth comes to the bench. Collison back in the lineup. The lob to Gregory. What a catch. Falling away against power. Puts up an air ball. Pearson comes down with it. And at the other end, Martin Ranzik, and he puts up an air ball. Power battles for it.
Around you run the floor, these Iowa State guards will get you the basketball.
Jake Sullivan not there, and he's going to go to the line for a couple.
We talked about his ability to shoot it from deep. If you crowd him, he can put it on the floor, get to the mid-range game. Outstanding free throw shooter, 90%. A look at Luke Axtell trying to keep the lower back warm. He has had back problems. This has affected his outside shooting.
Foul was on Collison, his first. So 16 fouls against KU, 5 now against Iowa State. And Iowa State continuing to apply pressure. If he hits this one, they will be 4 of 6 from the line, and he does, and KU has yet to go to the line.
Well, a young man has a chance and an opportunity to be freshman of the year in this conference.
8 minutes. That's what we have left in the first half. The battle of supremacy at the top in the Big 12. Boshi, nice touch along the baseline. He's got 5 now.
Again, I think Larry Eustace can live by Kansas shooting jump shots. What they don't want the Jayhawks to do is pound it inside and get his team in foul trouble.
Well, what's happening right now is what I talked about. This pace is more to the liking of Iowa State. Ranzik unlucky. That one rattled both sides and then came out.
Look for Collison down low on the block somewhere. Got Pearson guarded. Collison outstanding when he gets it down low. Good pass there.
And the fingers being pointed at Tinsley. First one on him. And there's a timeout, so we'll take it with them. Iowa State with a 5-point margin, just over 7 to play first half.
I ain't no perfect man. I'm trying to do the best that I can with what it is I have. I ain't no perfect man. I'm trying to do the best that I can with what it is I have. Put my heart and soul into this song. I mean that's sincere. Tomorrow may never come. For you and me, life as I promised. Tomorrow may never appear. You better hold this very moment very close to you. Right now. Very close to you. So close to you. Right. So
At Gallagher-Iba, it continues to be a tight back-and-forth battle. Kareem Rush sparking a Missouri mini-run, and now inside the 10-minute mark at Stillwater, it's the Tigers up by 2. We'll keep you posted, Ron.
Okay. Well, if Rush has got to get hot, but sometimes, as we said last week, they depend a little too much on those two players. Well, there's a ribbon being worn by one of the people in attendance tonight. Everybody supporting and sending their best along to Oklahoma State, and that's what the players are wearing. I mentioned that last week. It's in the colors of Oklahoma State and the sash with the emblem of the Big 12 Conference. John Clougherty telling Tinsley, got a foot on the line.
Good job of officiating, just warning Tinsley where to be.
Richard Evans, 0-0, checks into the lineup for Iowa State.
Active player on the board. Iowa State with a small lineup.
Rancic's got to be careful. He's playing with 2 fouls, as is Heinrich. Gooden against Evans. Quick turnaround and knocks it down.
Well, 5 inches Evans has given up to Gooden. Smart play by Roy Williams and his staff coming out of timeout. Draw it up. Get it inside to their big play.
Well, if that wrist had been so bad that he was unable to go tonight, that would have been a huge cog out of this machine. Sullivan way outside. How far was he, John?
Zone defense. The one thing you have to do with Sullivan, he will look you off and then shoot it. He shoots kind of a flat-footed shot. You have to stay with him. Bosa just kind of shaking his head.
Iowa State now 4 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Now take a look where Jake Sullivan is. He looks one way and then he gets his feet set. The release, again, as good as any you will find. The kid shooting a basketball.
Asked Larry Eustace about him before the Oklahoma State game, and he said he is the personification of a gym rat. He said, I made him take a day off just before we came down to Oklahoma State, and said some of the kids told me he wanted up at a high school shooting. Now Sullivan left alone again. Misses this one.
Since the 5th grade, 1,000 jump shots a day. Tartan High School out of Oakdale, Minnesota. Over 3,000 points scored in high school.
Heinrich. Well, Heinrich really unlucky on that one, but he didn't use the glass. 30-24. Iowa State about to hit the 5.5-minute mark until halftime. Tinsley, nice dish inside of the ball, blocked. Martin Rancic couldn't get it off.
Tinsley may want to go one step further so that the defense comes over and Rancic will have a more open look.
Collison with the turnaround.
Well, look at the block out by Evans down low, and they got him with a foul. Looked like a wrestling match, which sometimes it has to be when you're trying to block out a taller player. Richard Evans knew at that point he had no chance, so might as well put the takedown hold on.
If Evans had not put his hand around in his midsection, he might have gotten a foul called on Gooden. But you could see the right hand go in the midsection. KU shooting tonight, 1 of 1 at the free throw line, but that has not been the thrust for them in this first half of play.
First free throw.
Well, after injuring that wrist on Saturday, to see him shoot the ball the way he has, you could see the tape around there, but this really has to have Roy Williams taking a huge sigh of relief.
Solid afternoon against the Longhorns. 19 points, 12 rebounds.
Yep.
Did a little bit of everything.
He's got 8 here tonight. Crowd back on their feet. They tried to go with the trap. Now Sullivan gets it back out to Tinsley.
A tough team to trap because Tinsley is so good with the ball, as is Horton. And you've got to be careful with this squad.
Tinsley will take the 3.
Ball movement, body movement, make the defense chase. This team can flat out shoot it when they're open.
7-point Iowa State lead. Martin Rancic made the mistake, and Collison says, I'll take that positioning and gamble every time.
You know, Rancic went around and almost picked up his 3rd. Probably lucky a whistle wasn't blown. The value of a left hook would be good right there.
Heinrich traveled.
Well, we talked about the outside shooting, the ball movement. If you don't get to them in a hurry, they will bombs away, and Kansas wants to pound it in low. Rancic can't make that play, but you can't allow Collison to walk you into that position.
8 turnovers by KU in this first half. Tinsley on the run, puts up a tough shot, tipped out by Axtell. Gooden. Iowa State will push it right back up, and that's right on the money, and Rancic goes down very hard.
Yeah, Martin Rancic, when the ball is in an Iowa State player's hand, he simply takes off on a dead sprint. Hope that he's okay as he gets up.
Both Rancic and Shirley have had an injured career at Iowa State.
Boy, what happened too is the fact Tinsley led him about 2 feet too far.
Yeah.
You know, he had to stretch for that ball, couldn't gather himself. Outstanding free throw shooter, 77%, 78. You see there, 11th in the Big 12. What a solid senior campaign he has had. Last year fought a lot of injuries. He's become a more disciplined type player. First couple years at Iowa State would shoot a lot of wild shots, loose shots. This year he's at 58% from the field.
Off to a slow start tonight from the field, 1 of 7, forcing a couple of 3 shots. But that is his 3rd for the night. Chenoweth back in. Gooden comes to the bench. Knocks them both down, so we will take a break. Martin Rancic gets both free throws. Lucky that he was not injured on that fall. We'll be right back.
Another update from Stillwater. You can see the tight ball game. Watch the effort, though, by the Cowboys. Terrence Crawford steps in, gets the hand, out battles Clarence Gilbert, who then fouls him on the dunk. 1-point game. Cowboys up inside of 7 minutes to go. Let's go back to Lawrence, Ron.
All righty, Chris, thanks. That studio is keeping close tabs on that game. Obviously very important for a number of reasons, as far as the conference race particularly. Iowa State has led since 3 minutes into this ball game. Right now, 35-28. We have 3:41 left to play until halftime. And Rancic is going to go to the bench and get a breather.
Well, both teams shooting 48% from the field. The difference in turnovers, only 4 by Iowa State, 8 by Kansas.
Heinrich playing with 2 fouls. Chenoweth playing with 2 fouls.
Axtell must be careful with the ball. Tinsley's going to try to reach in and make the steal.
Well, they called travel. They did not call a foul.
Yeah, Tinsley was reaching. If Jamal Tinsley thinks he has a chance to get the ball, he's going to take that chance. I mean, when he's matched up with Axtell, he knows Luke's not known for the ball handling, his ball handling ability. He's going to try to take it.
Horton had that thing cocked and ready to go, passed it up.
Zone defense, and this Iowa State team can flat out stretch you all across the floor with their bombers.
It was all 3 that are out there right now on the perimeter. Can knock it down.
Horton ball faked it, and if he'd have just given it up, they'd have had an easy one.
Put up an air ball, and Evans with the follow. That turned into a great pass.
There are times when you're in a zone defense, Ron, where you get caught standing watching.
Biggest lead of the night, 9 by the Cyclones. Chenoweth up and over Evans for the 2.
Now Chenoweth having his way inside. When they give him the ball, he's been able to score. He's got a couple buckets.
Halftime by Marriott. Halftime report coming up. See some of the stories. We'll be talking about the Big East matchup tonight. Also that very important game down in Stillwater.
Take a look look at Sullivan in the top left part of your screen or the bottom left right there. You got to get to him in a hurry.
Shot clock is at 9.
He normally just backs up to where he can get it. Good pass.
Nice bouncer. Shirley can't get it to go, and I think Chenoweth tipped it in, didn't he?
I think Richard Evans got his hand in there again.
Evans was right there. Chenoweth trying to rebound the ball, and Evans, given credit for it, he now has 4. Tipped by Sullivan. Coming up on the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report. Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps. Sports Center in-game. Oklahoma State returns to the court and the battle in the Big East tonight. How about Mike Bray? Big win at home tonight after trailing early in that ball game to St. John's. Quite a night by the big redhead Murphy.
I'll tell you what, when he gets it going, there's not many places you can defend him.
Gregory, quick first step, and that was the difference right there. Just left it. He's got 8.
You know, you read your scouting report, you understand you want to make Kenny Gregory shoot it, but he makes a move that quick, he can't catch up.
Horton couldn't get it. Shirley. Oh my goodness, will that go on the highlight reel?
One for the ages.
Well, he's an engineering major, and he had to do some engineering there. He needed a protractor to make sure how he could figure that one up and in. Gooden for 3.
And partner, you can't defend that.
Nope.
6'10" player takes you off the dribble and can shoot it and knock them in. Not much you can do.
He has been the difference in the first half as far as keeping KU in the ballgame.
Kenny Gregory has to keep Tinsley in front of him. They have to pay attention to Sullivan, Horton on the wings.
About 8 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Shot clock is at 10. Tinsley drives it and kisses it hard off the glass, and he got hit in the face.
Might have gotten hit in the eye. He's down.
Gregory at the other end can't get it to go as Evans rebounds.
Yeah, let's hope he is okay. Might have gotten hit across the eye. Another big rebound by Richard Evans. How active he has been since coming in.
Well, the very fortunate thing here, he did get hit in the eye. We have 6 seconds left, and they'll have the entire half to work on him.
Yeah, here's what Jamal Tinsley does best. He can explode by you, and his ability to get it off the glass, and you could see where he got hit. Looks like he will be okay.
They're going to take him on to the locker room, as I said. Only 6 seconds showing on the clock, and try to get some advanced work done on him to get that eye cleared up.
Iowa State with an opportunity to take a 10-point or more lead.
How big would that be? Good work from our guys on the crew as you see Tinsley heading up the tunnel and into the locker room here at Allen Fieldhouse. Going to have to hurry. Inside of 3. Horton will put it up, and he got it.
Nice ball fake. Ball fake. Tinsley went for it. Horton knocked it in. Great half by Iowa State. He was calling for a high screen. He crossed his dribble over. Look at the ball fake. Kinsey goes for it. 6 of 9 from three-point land. What a half for the Cyclones.
52% from the field, and they have committed only 4 turnovers. So we're at halftime with a score of 46-35 Cyclones. Now let's send it to Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps.
Ron, feeling deja vu. It's the 3rd straight big Monday at halftime you've thrown back, and Kansas has been trailing. They came back to beat Colorado. Of course, lost last week to Missouri. But this is a very high-quality basketball team they're trailing at halftime here.
Jamal Tinsley just has that leadership ability, Chris. And the thing is, you know this going into the game. They shoot 42% from the field on the threes, Iowa State, so it's tough to guard, but you want to guard and you can't guard. I think Kansas needs to just punish them inside. That's their strength. They're not doing it enough.
Well, by no means is this thing over, but Kansas, they haven't lost to a team at home back-to-back years since Missouri beat them 89 and 90. So Iowa State trying to do something that is rarely done in that conference. Of course, also in the Big 12 tonight, Missouri visiting Oklahoma State. Very tight ball game. Now inside of 3.5 to play. We'll update that when we come back, and also from the Big East highlights.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is presented by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And in part by K Jewelers. This Valentine's, shop K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Happy birthday to me.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Hello? Security?
Make it a Bud Light.
Welcome to Sports Center in Game. Time for the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report.
Welcome back. Well, to a man, the Oklahoma State Cowboys and their coach Eddie Sutton talked about the importance of getting back to basketball to aid in relieving their grief over the loss of two teammates and others in that plane crash January 27th. The game with Missouri tonight, originally scheduled for Saturday, but it's been 9 days of shock and grief, and now Oklahoma State has to come back together. They go back to the same court where that memorial service was held 5 days ago, attended by 10,000. You see the photos of the 10 victims still there, and a prolonged period of silence before the game as those lives lost remembered, and everybody wondering how Oklahoma State would respond, how the basketball players would respond to the layoff and the hard, emotional 9 days against a Missouri team that had a lot to play for as well. This is a very critical game in the conference standings. Early going, Maurice Baker takes the outlet pass, lays it in. Oklahoma State riding emotion to build an 11-4 lead. Then a one-point game when Victor Williams sits a streaking Baker for the alley-oop. 38-35. The crowd extremely emotional and intense all night. Then Terrence Crawford steps into the passing lane. Great individual effort. And the foul, Oklahoma State led by 3. A couple of quick threes after that sequence built the lead up. This is Maurice Baker, wide open on the wing. He knocks it down. A little run there by Oklahoma State as he tried to pull away, but it's still just a 5-point game, 3:15 to play. Missouri coming in with a 5-2 record in the conference. Oklahoma State 4-2. This is a conference digger that is wide open. Oklahoma not on action tonight, but the Sooners have to be considered a threat as well.
Well, the Sooners are good, but the team I think's really got problems right now in the Big 12 is Texas. Even though they've been ranked most of the season, and the RPI of the Big 12 right now is the 6th best conference in the country. That's not good. And Texas has lost 3 of the last 4 games, and in their losses, they're shooting under 40%. But it's not over yet. They have to go to Colorado this Wednesday, and then, of course, when you get down to it, they got Oklahoma this weekend. So it doesn't get any easier for Texas. I like the other teams in front of them because that conference still plays solid defense, which you see Eddie Sutton do in the second half. They tighten up the defense of Missouri, who went on an 8-0 run before the halftime to get that lead before the first half was over. But this game tonight is another war, as is the game we have on tonight.
They're all wars, and I always say certainly trying to shake up that Big 12 conference race with a big lead at Kansas at halftime. Meanwhile, in the Big East, another conference that is balanced, Georgetown badly wanted payback against Pittsburgh. Panthers came to D.C. and knocked off the Hoyas their first conference loss. So back in Pittsburgh, a very motivated big guy, Mike Sweetney. Nice inside pass to Wesley Wilson for the bucket. 30-13, Georgetown led. They led by 20 at halftime. You can see Braswell to Sweetney inside. Braswell then on the break. Kicks it to Gerald Riley, to Demetrius Hunter. Some perimeter game, a big game inside from Boom J, who had talked about his motivation after being shown up by Pittsburgh. Hoyas win it by 14. It really wasn't that close.
No, they bounced back after the loss to Notre Dame at home, and then they lose to Syracuse last week. But Sweetney tough in the first half, 16 points. But you got to love their offense. 63% in the first half. Pitt 32% in the first half. The game was over right at halftime.
Hoyas 8-1 on the road. St. John's on the road at Notre Dame and looking good early. Omar Cook looks for the lob and gets the three-pointer. St. John's led by 4 at halftime, but it was all Notre Dame in a very strong second half. Matt Carroll, entry feed, the dunk by Murphy, who was trying to pay back Mike Jarvis for snubbing him in an international team. Not giving him much PT. Murphy was motivated. Then in transition, Carroll to Ryan Humphrey.
Humphrey just had the intensity to get this spurt in the second half. 11-0 run. The Irish go up 60-54, and it goes the other way.
And a huge Notre Dame second half. St. John's had a major drought. You can see Murphy responding with 34-11.
Well, the Irish are on a roll. They've been the best kept secret in the Big East. They're at the top of their division right now, but St. John's losing to Providence this weekend. Tonight to Notre Dame. They have to go to Miami this weekend.
Women's basketball, there is bad news for UConn. You can see here against Tennessee, Svetlana Abrosimova, their All-American, going down. She will have surgery on Wednesday on that foot. Her season and her career at UConn are done. Bad news, of course, for UConn. And in men's basketball, the injury to Justin Hamilton, we find, will be season-ending. The Florida sophomore, surgery to reconstruct the torn ACL in his left knee. You can see he was injured a couple weeks ago against Georgia. Will not be able to return this year, so he'll not be there as a shorthanded Florida team travels to Rupp Arena at 7:30 following the Spartans and the Illini. A monster game on Super Tuesday.
That's the battle for the lead in the Big Ten. Michigan State has to go down to Illinois.
You can see the Cats and the Gators on ESPN2. And at midnight, Aspers Kambala and UNLV visiting Wyoming. High-flying Cowboys.
Sports Center in game. This halftime report is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers. Welcome back to Sports Center in game, the Courtyard by Marriott halftime report.
Welcome back. The Cyclones up by 11 at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Meanwhile, we're updating that game down in Stillwater. Missouri trying to rally here. You can see Brian Grauer steps in, makes the steal. Missouri cuts into that lead. Now 1:07 to play. Oklahoma State on the free throw line trying to protect the lead. We'll keep you posted on that game. The second half is coming up. And SportsCenter, of course, will have complete highlights of that Missouri-Oklahoma State game with Dan Patrick and Stuart Scott, plus the rest of the day's news. Kobe Bryant, an injury, and Chris Webber, discontent.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball, presented by Bud Light, is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Bad Andy, good pizza.
We've been tracking that game down in Stillwater. Missouri visiting Oklahoma State. Obvious implications in the Big 12 standings, but also the emotional implications. Set the scene for you as we take you down to Stillwater. It's a three-point game, Missouri ball. We join Fred White, Paul Splitsorf on ESPN+.
Shot. But at the same time, Oklahoma State cannot foul while somebody's shooting that three-pointer. They'll have 3 free throws.
Tigers tonight, their three-point shooters. Paul Gilbert is 3 for 8, Rush 2 for 7, Brower 2 for 4, and Wesley Stokes 1 for 1. Hey, look at that side. Welcome to Gallagher Arena in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Welcome those of you watching on ESPN tonight. We have 16.8 seconds to play. Oklahoma State leading by 3. Missouri has the ball. And they will arrange their three-point shooters and go for the tie. Each team with 1 timeout. Kareem Rush coming out has 21 points tonight for Missouri.
Rush, Gilbert, Brower are the three-point shooters. Parker's out there along with Johnson.
Sanders will guard the inbounds pass from Rush.
Oklahoma State will play man-to-man.
Back to Rush. Drawing a crowd. Dribbling it. Takes it into the lane for 2. Doesn't get it. Rebound. Oklahoma State, an immediate foul. Melvin Sanders grabbed the board with 8.9 seconds to play. Eddie Sutton with his son Sean as the assistant next to the look at the crowd. It's been an emotional night in here, as you can well imagine. And it's also been one heck of a basketball game. Melvin Sanders, a 52% free throw shooter, 2 for 2 at the line tonight with 7 points. There's another one.
That makes the second free throw a little bit tougher when you come up short on the first one.
3-point lead, 8.9 seconds to play. This is huge. And it doesn't go. Johnson rebound from Mizzou. They have 6 seconds. 5. Brower wants a timeout with 3.4 seconds to play to set up a play.
The last time Missouri had it, they gave the ball to Kareem Rush trying to create and drive. You get 3 points that way, get the basket, get chopped on your way to the basket. If they get inside that three-point line, I would think that Oklahoma State would just back off and go ahead and let them have that shot. Got to pressure out on the perimeter, and you got to make sure you don't foul. With that much pressure, I got to think that there are going to be some screens, some kind of curl cut or a circle cut by Missouri coming across some picks. Just pick your shooter.
3.4 seconds. There's your reset. Oklahoma State has a timeout. Missouri just burned their last one with a foul. It'll be 2 shots for everyone now. Quinn Snyder working to set up the play in the Missouri huddle. They're trying to get him back on the floor. So this is it.
So important to set a solid pick if you're going to free up the shooter.
Brower this time will handle the inbounds pass.
There's still plenty of time for Missouri. 3.4. A long time when you've got the ball this part of the floor.
Sanders is guarding Rush. Brower looking. Throws an inbound. Stolen by Oklahoma State. Sanders had it. Gets it to Maurice Baker. It's over. The Cowboys have won it.
Well, there have been so many emotions experienced by the folks in Oklahoma, so little jubilation. What a win for them tonight.
Yeah, you don't want to see Missouri lose, but you just want Oklahoma State to win this game tonight. They won it. Big win for Eddie, as well as Missouri just showing up, handling it with class.
It was a struggle throughout, some missed free throws, but they had just enough to hold on and send Missouri to defeat in Stillwater. Let's get back down to Lawrence now, where the Cyclones continue to lead the Jayhawks. Ron, John.
So the situation, 49-39, 10-point lead by Iowa State. The ball tipped up, and it's going to be picked up by Rancic, and he'll score, and they go back to a 12-point margin.
Yeah, a mistake by Heinrich and Gregory, not recognizing each for standing there.
It's going to be on Horton, and it's his second.
You know, Ron, one of the things Iowa State has done in this ball game is not allowed Kansas any runs. They've not allowed them easy breaks. They haven't turned it over to allow Kansas to get easy baskets.
John, in the first half, the 3 starting guards for the Cyclones scored 28 points.
Well, Horton, Tinsley, and Sullivan are going to get their looks, and tonight they are on fire.
Potentially 10 points, 4 of 7, 3 assists, and only 1 turnover in that first half. That's great efficiency there. With a quick release over the top and out of play. And an opportunity for Iowa State to increase on this lead, and the crowd coming to life because they know for sure that this ball club in here tonight is for real, for sure.
And the guy with the basketball makes it so difficult for your defense to set up. He gets the ball in the paint. Now, he missed that one. He does not miss many of those. You have to help out next time, and guys get open looks.
Tinsley is going to be called for a hand check. Second one on Jamal Tinsley. That is the 3rd foul already, team foul, here in the second half on Iowa State.
Kansas only 2 free throw attempts in that first half. 2 of 2, both made by Drew Gooden. Unusual for this team.
Put it on the floor and had it knocked away.
And he's standing there. He's got great hands. You just cannot do it.
11 turnovers, KU. Good pass. Sullivan just lost it. No turnover, or turnover actually, but no foul. 51-39. We'll be right back.
As you just saw, Oklahoma State beat Missouri 69-66 to go to 5-2 in the Big 12, but those numbers don't begin to illustrate the significance of those 40 minutes of basketball on the campus at Oklahoma State. Just minutes ago, the postgame reaction of Coach Eddie Sutton.
Coach, a tough week for your Cowboys. How good does it feel to get back to the basketball floor tonight?
Well, you know, it was one of the toughest weeks I think anybody that's connected with OSU's ever had to go through, certainly for our players and for our coaching staff. I think this is one of the toughest games I've ever had to coach in because I knew the importance of it. The fact that by winning it helps in this healing process that we need desperately.
Oklahoma State next faces Nebraska on the road. They'll take on Kansas next week. They'll have to continue to play with that kind of emotion. Let's go back now to Kansas, where the home team continues to trail. Ron?
So welcome back to Allen Fieldhouse. Congratulations to Eddie Sutton and his club. I think without a doubt the healing has started there in Stillwater. A lot of process.
Yeah, a lot of people pulling for the Cowboys.
And with the ovation just a moment ago, they announced the final score here in a tremendous ovation for Oklahoma State. The other 11 schools pulling hard for the Cowboys and their athletic family. Collison. And I think they got Gooden inside. They'll count the hoop.
Bill Rancic doing a solid job trying to keep Gooden off the board. This is a Kansas team. We often talk about how great they are in rebounding, but they are second in this league in rebounding margin. Iowa State is first, and what's surprising about that, Ron, is that in the rebounding stats for Big 12 play, the best rebounder for Iowa State is down there at number 16 in the league, Paul Shirley. So they rebound extremely well as a squad.
It was a foul on Gooden, and that is 3 on him. So he goes to the bench.
And they will try to attack Kenny Gregory with 3 fouls. Horton's going at it.
Three-pointer if it goes, but he's off the mark, and Shirley has it blocked by Collison, and a jump ball is called. And Shirley kind of looking around like, hey, I got fouled twice.
And the key, if you're Kansas, is that they're not putting a body on Shirley or Rancic. Those guys are getting inside and at least getting more opportunities than just the one shot.
Horton to pull the trigger. And it's young Jake Sullivan. Went off his leg. Oh, here's the summary. 50% KU, 49 Iowa State. Free throws, there's one of the differences right there. 7 of 10, 2 of 2 for KU. But look at the three-point shooting.
Yeah, these two teams are 2 of the top in the NCAA in field goal percentage. So not surprising, they both shoot it well. They take high-quality shots. They work for good shots. So far, though, Iowa State has controlled this tempo and, for the most part, kept Allen Fieldhouse somewhat quiet.
And that's the reason Larry Eustace got Martin Rancic out of the ballgame. That really was a silly turnover. They don't need to force anything. They got the double-digit lead. Keep the same pace. And Heinrich, because of the turnover, knocks down a 3, and we're back to a 7-point game.
Second basket of the half. 7 points now for Heinrich.
Pearson blocked by Collison, and here comes Motion.
I think they might have gotten the freshman Shane Power on a foul. Yeah, Kirk Heinrich, the true leader of this ball club, only a sophomore. Hit one early, and now this three-pointer. And that guy will show you some passion.
So Shane Power picks up the foul. It's his first. 14 fouls on Iowa State. And this is what absolutely drives coaches mad. They had a 12-point lead just a moment ago, and in some silly things, trying to force it. Why force it? You're sitting there with a 12-point lead in a building that never happened. Well, tomorrow at 9 Eastern on ESPN, Day 5 coverage from Mount Snow, Vermont. It includes the snowmobile at Hill Cross Final. Then getting caught up at midnight with the highlight show. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Top of bringing the score closer together, the biggest mistake is to get these folks back in the ball game. Because they were sitting on their hands there for a while with that 12-point deficit.
Well, as we were away watching Oklahoma State, Missouri, the start of this second half, the crowd tried to get in a hurry and get Kansas off to a good start. But every time they scored, Iowa State would have an answer and, again, have controlled everything. Until this point, now they have to settle it down. But you're looking at two guys that can settle it down. Tinsley and Horton, two senior guards. They won huge games a year ago, understand the magnitude of winning in this building.
With almost had moved away. Heinrich, they cleared for him to get the three, and Shirley gets the long carry.
Heinrich got open because Tinsley, after Heinrich cut through, played center field looking for a steal.
Power, running jumper, well short. 3-on-2 on the break. Good no-look pass, and Collison finishes it off.
A terrific catch. Outstanding pass. KU at its best when they push.
Collison, 4 blocks, 8 rebounds.
Now take a look at Kenny Gregory. Between his legs, the pass, not an easy ball to catch. Good way to finish.
Heinrich with his 3rd foul. And Boshi just picked up a foul.
And what Tinsley does on a play like that, Ron, is he tries to get just a half a step on and then leans with his shoulders into the defender's body. There's no way and no place for a defender to go. Right, he gets you there, you're in trouble.
A 7-0 run by KU. Iowa State trying to stop the bleeding.
2-3 zone from the underneath out of bounds.
Tinsley with the 3. Not there. Shirley knocks it back to Collison. Well, didn't make it. Gregory got away with an extra step on that one.
And now Tinsley recognizes Gregory not back defensively. He had number.
3 fouls on Boshi now.
Well, this is what Jamal Tinsley simply does. At the end of a lot of these games, he did it in the Nebraska win. He did it last Saturday in the Kansas State win. He simply takes the ball and makes the defender stop it. And once he gets a half a step, he's by you.
Power. Shane Power, the freshman out of Crown Point, Indiana, buries the 3. And this ball is going to be turned over and a whistle and a foul. And they're going to call it on Horton.
That's a tough break. That was a long pass. And Horton simply went for the ball, picks up his 3rd personal. Tells Larry Eustace he is okay.
Wholesale changes. Gooden back in the game. Axel is in. Gregory and Collison go to the bench.
I'll take a look at Horton. Well, that's a tough call there, Ron. He's the first guy to the ball.
Hard to say. He's got as much right to the ball as the KU player.
Not a good foul, and now Horton sits out.
Called it on Pearson. Tyrone Pearson.
And solid screen by Jeff Boshi. Pearson just tried to run through him. Pearson now with his 3rd personal. He
We've got 12 minutes exactly left in this one. Now the chess match really begins.
And Richard Evans came in the first half, 7 minutes, 4 points, 4 rebounds, very active, but he's only 6'5". Watch to see if they go inside the good.
Sullivan against Bochy. Not there, but Gooden comes away with a rebound. Reverses it. Too hard. Tipped by Chenoweth. Wouldn't go, and here's Tinsley. And Evans had the ball and just didn't put up 2 hands.
Well, yeah, he put up 1 hand. You've got to catch it with both in this game.
Let's take a break. 54-46, Cyclones. (54-46) with 11:38 left in the ball game. Larry Eustace, this is some
pretty good company.
Pretty good company, it really is. Won conference championships at 3 different schools. Eddie Sutton, Lute Olson, Lefty Drizel, Mr. Bartow, Ralph Miller, who is by way of Kansas, by the way. He was at Oregon State.
Well, you take a look. Yeah, 3 of those names. Eustace, Dave Bliss at Baylor, and Eddie Sutton, Oklahoma State. 3 of those guys in the Big 12. Larry Eustace, conference championships in Idaho and at Utah State. And then last year, Iowa State, regular season conference champ in the Big 12 and tournament champ.
And a reminder again, Iowa State has knocked off KU 3 straight times. That has not happened in Roy Williams' career here at Allen Fieldhouse. Axtell got the shooter's roll.
Yeah, 4th shot, but it went in. Luke Axtell, Ron, is a kid that plays on emotion. And if he makes 1, he might make 4 or 5.
Sullivan got a finger in the eye, but appeared to be okay. Tinsley with the spins move over Bochy, and quite a rebound by Axtell. 3-on-1. Foul on Sullivan.
Ron, I thought Heinrich took the ball too deep. As a point guard, if you pull up at the free throw line, you give your big bodies a chance to run the lane. He goes so deep in here that he almost causes Chenoweth to make a charge. And Larry Eustace, always animated on the sideline.
Ted Hillary continues to have a conversation with Larry Eustace. When you look at Chenoweth, he's going to go to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. And if he gets it, he would bring the Jayhawks to within 3 points at the 11-minute mark. Now there's more college basketball on the way coming up at midnight. UNLV at Wyoming and a Mountain West nightcap. Casper's Camelot leads the Rebels in points and rebounding. Big Monday presented by Bud Light.
Wyoming Cowboys. Wyoming. Up at the top of that Mountain West, Steve McLean's ball club. McLean coached just down the road, Hutchinson Junior College, and a couple years with Billy Tubbs at TCU. And one of the terrific young coaches in college basketball.
John, right now, these 2 veteran guards are going to have to step up and take it over if Iowa State is going to maintain the momentum that they've had.
Exactly right. A little noise, partner.
Horton got it.
A terrific screen by Richard Evans. He put a body up on Drew Gooden. He couldn't get to Horton when he turned the corner.
That's a travel.
Ron, let's go back and take a look what Richard Evans does. He gets Drew Gooden up. That's the weak side to help defense. Axtell can't get there in time, and there's one of the senior guards you're talking about. Cantrell Horton answers the call.
But Iowa State has led this game since the 3-minute mark, right?
Yeah.
And they are pointing the finger at Chenoweth. 3 on him.
Shirley just trying to come across the lane. Easy call there.
Shirley playing with that stress fracture in the pelvic area, so he already plays with pain. Power for three. Got it.
Good spot up. Great find by Tinsley. Takes a baseline. Finds the open man.
8 of 13 from beyond the arc for Iowa State. And they just got Evans.
They might have.
Chenoweth had run away from him.
We'll take a look at Tinsley going to the hoop. You've got to help out. And the key to this game has always been if Iowa State can hit their open shots. They've got a guy like Tinsley that will get them for you.
Power, the freshman at a Crown Point, Indiana, has continued to improve. He's got 2 threes in this game tonight. Too hard. Long carom. Chenoweth has it, and he'll save it for KU. Heinrich knocks down the 16-footer.
Well, second chance opportunities, especially off a missed free throw. You can't have it happen if you're Iowa State.
Back to a 6-point game. Boy, is this crowd ever in it now. Shirley with the screen, and Horton knocks down the 3.
What a ball game he's had. 15 points, 3 of 3 3-point field goals.
Chenoweth.
Pretty smooth stroke, but I think Iowa State can live with that.
Chenoweth now with 9.
Pretty good face-up shooter.
Under 9 minutes left in the ball game. Iowa State a half game behind the Jayhawks in the race for the top.
Oh, what a
Big
play.
12. Great feed, and Evans says, hey, thanks.
Crossover dribble, gets to the paint once again. This kid is special.
Just what we talked about. The guards are the ones that have to take over for Iowa State, and they have. They pushed it back out to a 9-point margin. Gregory, he's going to be way off on that one. They cleared on his side so he can get a one-on-one with Heinrich, and Heinrich blocked it. Tinsley thought that he had thrown it off Gooden. Ted Hillary said he was standing on the sideline.
How about that defensive play by Heinrich? He's been beaten off the dribble a couple times. This time he stays with it. Stays with Tinsley's right arm. And Jamal going, trying to save. Hits him back. Good call. Was he out of bounds?
No. Martin Ramsick. Chenoweth very close, and he threw the ball right at Heinrich's feet.
Is that Heinrich's 4th personal foul? Yeah. I believe it is. Boy, Ramsick getting down in there. You know, I think if you're Kirk Heinrich with 8 minutes left, you don't make the foul.
Yeah.
You're too valuable for your team. You need to be on the floor.
And last year at the end of the game, he was not on the floor, as we mentioned back in the first half. He fouled out of the game here in Lawrence. And it turned out to be huge. 7 points and 4 rebounds for Ramsick. Chenoweth will come out, and Heinrich comes out with a clap of the hands, upset with himself.
Larry Eustace getting Jamal Tinsley a rest, which now lets Cantrell Horton slide over, play more of the point guard position.
Gooden rebounds, and here come the Jayhawks. They're down by 10 again. They cut it to 3 this half. Good help inside by Shane Power. Prodded him up, and he may force the shot over.
Iowa State gives you an angle, but the angle's not good. When you lob it in there, that gets you underneath the board and makes it scoring the ball difficult. Two freshman guards in the lineup, Shane Power and Jake Sullivan, two outstanding shooters.
Gooden and Gregory scoreless this half. Big. Power with the left hand. Can't get it to go, and Gooden out-battles Evans for the rebound.
Nick Collison that time got ahead of the crowd, and this is where he does his best work. Rancic cannot allow Collison that kind of position. Good wraparound pass by Boschee. Rancic's now got 3. He had 2 early fouls. You've got to be able to meet Collison when he comes down the floor at the free throw line and redirect his path.
Kansas 7-1 in conference play. Iowa State 7-2. Number 14 against number 5. Now the interesting thing is, another reason it is so important as Collison gets the second, KU will play Iowa State 2 games from now up in Ames. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
State with an 8-point lead, and Cantrell Horton has been the story. He has been solid handling the basketball. 15 points. His assists, he's got 3. And when they've needed his long-range shooting, he is 3 of 3 from three-point land. Solid ball game. The guy that Larry Eustace would say is the most dependable of his Cyclones.
Mr. Blue Collar.
Yes, he is.
3 assists, 2 rebounds.
Coming out of a shooting slump. Last 3 ball games.
The storyline, you see 9 of 14 from beyond the arc. Kansas 10-0 record at home. Gooden 19 points, all in the first half.
What do you think of this? Cantrell Horton coming into this game, the last 3, only 3 of 18 from the field. Found a good time to find his shot.
That touched by Gregory last. The starting guards for Iowa State, 35 points so far. Shirley too hard, and Collison goes up to gather the rebound.
And missed one point blank. Set a good screen. Tinsley made a good pass. You've got to convert.
Talk about one he'll dream about tonight, win or lose. Sullivan whistled for the foul. His second.
Well, and understands that it's not a smart play. You're trying to make Kansas beat you by running offense, making jump shots. Now all of a sudden you slap a guy 24 feet from the hoop and let him go to the foul line. Also allows a shooter to go to the foul line and maybe find his touch.
Axtell gets them both. He's now got 7, and he makes it a 6-point game, and here comes the crowd again.
Ron, they're very poised, and they can stretch your defense.
Rancic out high with the screen for Tinsley. He passed up the 3. Shot clock is now at 10. I don't believe how far he's out. And he canned it. I mean, he is at the end of Kansas, which is printed over there.
Tinsley looked at about a 25-footer and gave it up for about a 26 or 7-foot. Unbelievable.
Any farther out, he's got to buy a ticket.
Gregory unlucky on the shot. Rancic clears on the boards, and in the second half, Iowa State on the boards has done a number on Kansas.
How about the recognition? Everybody thinks Tinsley's going to slow it down, set it up. He notices that he can get by the big guys, and it's one-on-one with Boschee right to the rim.
They got to get Heinrich back in the ball game, and Roy Williams has just gone to him and said, "Come with me." That's an air ball. Axtell saved it. Boschee for 3. Got it.
Hey, Ron, Kansas Kansas has to get out of the panic mode. They have twice, one pass, quick shot. It's still eternity in this ballgame. I think the frustrating part is on a defensive end, they're having a hard time stopping this Iowa State team. Spread it out, go to work. You got good outside shooters. And you got the best ball handler in college basketball.
9 seconds on the shot clock. And Tinsley's going to put up the three, and he gets it.
He gave a little nod. He was going to shoot the first time. Oh, boy, straight out of Rucker Park.
Inside to Collison. Boy, he had the mismatch, but Gooden gets there with the rebound. Can't get it to go, and it's a foul on Rancid. And it will be his fourth.
What a show we are witnessing. Barely in the picture. Horton, and then watch Tinsley. Watch the chin go up like he's going to do something. So nonchalant. You know, this is a ball club that put on a blitz against Oklahoma. When they played Oklahoma Sooners in the second half, outscoring Oklahoma 59-31. Shot 61% in that game. 8 of 11 for threes in the second half.
Gooden misses. Martin Rancic are going to leave him in the game, and Heinrich will come in. So we've got 2 guys on the floor with 4 fouls apiece. Heinrich and also Martin Rancic. Gooden still scoreless in the second half. We'll see if he can get off the snide here.
And Kelvin Sampson described that game, Iowa State. He said they just kept stretching us out and backing up and making shots. And tonight, Iowa State 11 of 16 for 3.
That's incredible for on the road. It's incredible for at home.
Man, and you can't put a lot of pressure on it. It's hard to trap. Again, if you trap a great point guard like Tinsley, he just picks you apart. They'll move the ball, get better looks. You try to disrupt their rhythm, but the guys out front can do a lot of things with the ball.
Gooden with the foul.
And Larry Eustace is just backing everybody up. They want Kansas to chase, and then they throw it on the top. Paul Shirley aggressive, attacking the rim. It was really a 2-on-1 on the backside.
Well, Shirley misses the first one.
Have to convert.
Shirley 1 of 5 at the free throw line.
70% free throw shoot.
Missed them both, and it's up and over the top. So we'll take a break. 3 minutes, 54 seconds left. Iowa State with a 10-point margin.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is presented by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And in part by GMC. From professional grade people come professional grade trucks.
Ron Franklin, John Sunball, back with you from Allen Fieldhouse. 10-point lead, Iowa State. John, let me show you where that three was shot from just a moment ago. We are zooming in. You see the upside down Kansas Jayhawk right here. Where the and is, on the right-hand side of the screen, that's where Horton shot that three-pointer just a moment ago. Here's the shot.
A picture of beauty. How about that?
Well, actually, right in between the A and the N, but good heavens.
Yeah, 69% from three-point land tonight as a team. Only 41% inside that line, but it's been a show. And Larry Eustace, I'm certain in the timeout, is saying, you've got to finish it, though. This game is far from done.
Back to an 8-point game. Very nice play by Kansas. Gregory. Collison, I mean. 12 points.
And you noticed on the double team, Tinsley backed it off one dribble and actually found Rancic down on the baseline. They'll flatten it out. Here he goes. Oh, you're kidding.
He didn't even touch iron on that one. Gooden on the turnaround. And a timeout called quickly by KU. It's a 30-second timeout.
Well, Larry Eustace cannot have Jamal Tinsley settle that deep out and just fire it up. As you can see, coach and player in the huddle. Tinsley's too good with the ball and use his advantage. Go in the lane, create for a teammate.
Heinrich also, they took him off Horton and they moved him over, and he's guarding Sullivan, guarding against that 5th foul. Sports Center coming up next. Dan Patrick and Stuart Scott. Cowboys of Oklahoma State come back. Celtics lucky 7 as they go for 7 in a row. And the question of the night, XFL, force or farce?
I missed it, partner. I didn't see the XFL.
I missed it as well. Kansas 5 straight points, 3:07 to play. And we have a 6-point margin. And here's the situation. Each with a 60. 2 30s for KU, 1 for Iowa State. Possession error with the Jayhawks. Horton at the other end lost it out of bounds, and it was touched last by the defender.
Tinsley had 3 guys he drew to him. Once he threw it over the top, Iowa State with numbers, I thought Horton was going to give a lob to Rancic for the easy 2. Must be careful if you're Jeff Boschee on the underneath out of bounds. If you're guarding Tinsley, don't read his eyes. He'll put you to the outside, and he'll throw it by the rim for somebody. They're trying to flatten out. Drew Gooden at 6'10". Trying to guard Horton. Mismatch.
Strong to the hoop, blocked by Collison. There's a mass of bodies right there. I think Gregory is the man. Yeah, it's Kenny Gregory that is called for the foul. It's only his first.
And right when they got it in, Gooden matched up with Horton. Wasn't supposed to be. And Larry Eustace put everybody on the baseline. And gave Cantrell open lane to attack.
So the situation, 10 team fouls, Iowa State. Now 9 against Kansas.
Yeah, Eustace season stats at 87% from the foul line. Now with 31 straight free throws made.
Evans done a nice job off the bench tonight. Horton with 19, trying to make it 20. Gooden with the rebound, 74-67, about to hit 2.5 minutes left in this one. Same 2 teams play 2 games from now. Oh, quick pass by Boschee.
Kansas in a little better rhythm offensively now. The spacing's better. The lanes are open. Terrific move by Boschee. Everybody plays Jeff Boschee as a jump shooter. Look at how open the lane is. Credit to the spacing.
7-1 Kansas, 7-2 Iowa State. Oklahoma State has won tonight. They're now 6-2. A lot of basketball to be played, John, for sure. It's some
a long way to go.
Yeah.
And a lot of tough ball games. Eddie Sutton and his ball club take away the tragic event, the job he has done. I saw that team early in the season, and they were searching for anything that could work. And Maurice Baker is a terrific lead guard for their team.
So here's the full court pressure. Shirley to pull the trigger.
Remember what Tinsley will try to do. Tinsley tries to get the ball, Ron, and he's begging for it now, telling Paul Shirley. He wants to draw 2 or 3 Kansas players because he thinks he can get it over the top, and then they can break the other way.
Freshman mistake. Sullivan was the one who was supposed to break to the baseline. Obviously, you got to have somebody breaking toward the basketball, and he didn't. Well, this is last year. Chenoweth has the ball stolen by Tinsley.
He made 2 huge steals down the stretch, and Marcus Fizer delivering the knockout blow.
Roy Williams rather anxious right now, and for good reason. This is an outstanding Iowa State team, and as John has remarked in a couple of big Mondays that we've had them, these two senior guards give them a special quality. Hard to make them crack under pressure. They got 2-on-1 at the other end, and he's fouled. Rancic will go to the line for 3.
And is that 5 on Gooden?
That's 5 on Gooden.
Martin Rancic, what a smart play. Some players would pull it back out, but he attacked. And Drew Gooden, all he could to try to get out of the way here. Looks like he jumped out of the way. Tough call.
His grandparents are here tonight, and I know he wanted to have a good show for them. 14 points, 8 rebounds, but only 3 points in the second half. Rancic misses. Chenoweth comes down with a rebound.
You talk about heart. You talk about tough players. Kurt Heinrich, the heart and soul of this Kansas team. The crossover, and watch the explosion. He's going to go by Tinsley's. Now he's got to be strong with the ball. He knows Jamal's going to try to reach and make the steal. And the reaction.
Can pull his club to within 4.
Never fun to have to defend a guy all night long. And he has answered him in this second half.
Tinsley, and that's going to be on Boshi.
I think he's too good to trap, honestly. Unless you get him in a hurry, you better get shoulder to shoulder. And if you do that, he'll probably spin you the other way. He makes a living late in the game going to the foul line. He has a style that's a little nonchalant when he gets to the foul line. Only shoots about 69%, but down the stretch, he converts most of it.
Interesting, as Tinsley gets this, he's now got 16 points. This is his first from the line.
Well, expect him in the last 2 minutes to be there more often.
Boshi with the foul, his 4th.
Watch how he does this. Barely bends the knees, lines it up. Doesn't seem to take enough time on it.
Good bouncer to Gregory over Shirley, and he missed the shot, but he was fouled by Shirley.
Woo. That's a good foul. Kenny Gregory is a 45% free throw shooter. Watch how high Gregory is and what's he going to do with this ball. Great foul. 45% free throw shooter. Make him earn it.
First point for Gregory in the second half.
Well, it's never pretty when he shoots it. But that was all net.
Chenoweth with his 4th foul.
Ron, does it surprise you when you say that you look up and who has the ball? I mean, Tinsley's around that ball whenever. He's in a position where he's got to get any long ball. It hung up on the rim, tipped by Rancic, and there's Jamal. Iowa State, a 74% free throw shooting team.
Got them both. Heinrich, Boshi, and Chenoweth, all with 4 fouls. Gooden already on the bench, having fouled out for the Jayhawks. Gregory.
Oh, what a big hoop by the senior.
got to be careful.
And at times, Tinsley will allow you to knock it away, or he'll bait you. Lackadaisical at times to put the ball right in front of the defender.
And Roy Williams just walked all the way out on the floor and waved his hands and said, "Don't foul him." Tip, no good. And a foul on Iowa State.
What great defense by Kirk Heinrich. He uses his 6'3" frames. He's got some long arms and a good reach. He waits till Tinsley commits. Then he goes up with the shot. You'll see Shirley over Chenoweth's back.
Yep. 4 now on Shirley. Yep, it's time for the deep breath and the sigh from both head coaches. 64 seconds left. 4-point ball game. Chenoweth at the line. Chenoweth 9 points, 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
I think Heinrich did what you have to do against Tinsley. Make him beat you with that little runner in the lane.
KU 11 of 14 at the stripe. Two-point game. 64 seconds left. Horton wouldn't go. Collison with the rebound.
Plenty of time to get a good look. Good move by Heinrich. Be patient. See if they can find Collison down low.
Heinrich for 3. Gregory.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
And a timeout called by Kansas with 9.5 seconds left.
Good move by Roy Williams. Boshi looked like he was antsy to cast one up.
And you can see he said full timeout.
Well, the long shot, and Tinsley went inside to get it, gives him another opportunity. I think their best weapon is Nick Collison down low. They had a hard time getting it to him, and again, Iowa State gives you angles, and when you catch it, you don't have a very good one. If the ball goes in, Boshi and Heinrich have to spot up. Those are the guys that might get the open look.
If you're Iowa State, would you also consider, if Gregory is in the lineup, to foul him immediately?
Larry Eustace has done that before.
Simply because Kenny, as John mentioned, he can swish him, but he also can be very erratic.
Well, the only tough part about that, you might give yourself a chance to lose. He makes the first one, miss second, you get it, you lay it in. I think Iowa State wants to be solid. I think what they have to be wary of, though, is the guard play outside. Don't get caught looking inside and Boshi and Heinrich moving away from you, spotting up for an open three to win the game.
Keep one other thing in mind. Tinsley last year, the quick hands caused the turnover, the steal, and that won it for them.
And normally, again, if Tinsley's guarding you and you give up the ball, a good stealer of the basketball gets a lot of steals away from the ball. You can lose him, and he won't find you. Heinrich can find some openings.
9.5 seconds left. 2-point lead, Iowa State. Puts up a wild one. That's going to be an air ball, and Iowa State has won 4 straight games over the Jayhawks of Kansas, and this crowd is stunned.
What a ball game. Iowa State led from the start. Outstanding, Ron.
Luke Axtell had to put up a desperation shot, and it was an air ball. And let's take one more look at it.
They didn't get into it offensively very well. They wanted Luke coming off the screen, but outstanding. Rancic jumped out, made Luke put it on the floor, and to force it. Has not been shooting the ball well lately. Great win for Larry Eustace.
So the final score, Iowa State takes the lead in the Big 12, 79, and Kansas, 77. Coming up next is SportsCenter. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. So Iowa State, led by Horton with 19 points and Tinsley with 18, wins it 79-77. For John Sunbolt and our entire ESPN crew, Ron Franklin saying so long from Lawrence, Kansas.